Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. It's been a while, but I'm back online. My computer was broke, the hard drive fried, but I'm back. And yes, once again, I do want to remind everyone that I am running for President of the United States of America in the 2016 presidential election. I'm running my campaign through Facebook, YouTube, Twitter if I can get on it, because I just don't have the money that everybody else has, that the other candidates have. I just don't have the money. But I want to talk about some key issues today. First of which is being that the government is shut down. Our government should never shut down with the amount of money that they make. You want to help fix this government, the first thing we need to do is cut Congress, the Congress people's salary. Do you realize they get something like $250,000 a year for sitting on their ass? Plus, all the money they make from the lobbyists giving them money. That's not right. They could probably be bringing in a year $5-6 million a year. And we as taxpayers still got to pay $250 for their business? No. Give them an option. Option A, no lobby money. Stop it. Or option B, no salary. I guess we could throw in option C. A little bit of lobby money, a little bit of a salary, but that's it. And put a cap on the lobbyist money. Put a cap on it. Alright. Our president gets around $250, maybe $500,000 a year. I think it's closer to $250. I'm fine with that. The man does work hard, so I'm fine with that. But there's a lot of other agencies that we can do without. TSA, they're nothing but a bunch of bullies. Alright? They misuse their power, they misuse everything. They're nothing but bullies. We can do without TSA. We don't need TSA. Cut that, and we save probably $4 or $5 billion every year. That's a lot of money, people. I estimate I just saved us $4.5 to $5 billion in just the two cuts I've mentioned. Plus, we could cut a little bit back on NSA. You know, FEMA can definitely do with some cutbacks. I mean, that right there, boom. Plus, we get the rich to pay their share. No more of this where they make so much, you get so much tax up. No, screw that. If you make $5 million, you pay taxes on $5 million. If you make $286 billion, you pay taxes on $286 billion. Not the, well, I'm going to give to this, I'll put some to here. No. No tax breaks. You can have tax breaks and all that, but it ain't going to be like it is now if I get in office. I'm going to reform it. I'm not going to be popular at first, but when this country starts getting back into the black financially, and the world sees that we're not a pushover, we're not just some country that, you know, is going to enforce our will either. We'll stay out of their business, but we'll stand up for what's right. And that's just the way it's going to be if I get elected. I will also address the seriously falling standards of our schools. Because every child deserves a good education. An education like we had back in the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s. A good, stern, strict, book-oriented test every week, every other day. Whenever teacher works, but at least once a week. Education. Now I know with the young voters out there that say, well, it wasn't so bad when I went to school. Do you realize, people, that they are now teaching our kids out of pamphlets? Yes, pamphlets. A broken down version of each chapter in a thin history book. History books when I went to school were like that thick. At least like that thick. They're probably closer like that. Now, a history book that the teachers have, like that thick. Like half the thickness. They took away the Civil War. There's no longer a whole couple of chapters on that. Nope. Paragraph and a half. Revolutionary War, same thing. World War I, same thing. World War II, same thing. Korea, Vietnam, there's no mention of them. There's barely a mention of the last couple of wars we've been in. There's no mention, from what I've been told, of the Cold War. And that's just one class. If social studies and history is failing that much, imagine how the rest of the school classes are failing. I was brought up, and I believe that if we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it. Look what happened in Germany. Germany forgot what it was like to have one person running the show. After World War I, they forgot. They got Hitler in office. He became the sole guy running the show. Boom! Another war in which they lost. That cost them a lot of years of being separated. East and West Berlin, remember? East and West Germany. Ladies and gentlemen of the American public, that's not right. I will also repeal Obamacare. I will repeal it in all its forms. Gone. See ya. It'll be gone. It's only helping screw this country and drain it. I would go to China and tell them that little deal you had where when the economy fails, you get the West Coast and Russia gets the East Coast. You had it under the Obama administration. Under this administration, dead. Done. Ain't happening. We'll pay our bills, but you ain't getting American soil. The only way to get American soil is to try and invade it and get it over our cold, dead, lifeless bodies. I would also take away a lot of restrictions that they made on the guns, such as the limit of rounds per weapon you can have. There should be no limit of rounds you can have. And you know what? Yeah, okay, maybe you don't always need a drum magazine for an assault rifle. But there's gonna come a time when we just might need it. So, I would make it legal to own guns. But you'd have to fill out some paperwork for it. Not saying that you'd have to register it, but there'd have to be some kind of reason why, or at least get a psychological evaluation to have a magazine to carry that many rounds. That's only to do one thing: stop those who would use them on kids in a crowded airport or wherever. Okay, I would institute a couple of laws that make it. Well, let's just say that the laws I would institute, if you get caught trying to make a bomb, once you get fined, you go to jail. Twice, you go to jail for longer. 3 times, you don't have to worry about jail anymore. You die. I would also make it to where it is not against the law to blow a whistle on a company or agency that's not doing what they're supposed to, that is abusing their power. The military, army, corporal, I think he was, Bradley was his last name or first name, but he made the news. I would release him, I would pardon him, because he did a true American thing. He stood up for us, the people. The true people, mind you, that run this government. We as a people, we as a nation, we run this government. If we vote, then we run the government, because it's by our votes that people are elected. Granted, they don't always work. Sometimes people that shouldn't get in office get in office through bribery so that they can destroy our country. But enough about Obama. Or anyone else who might have done that, or who might try. Excuse me. These are the words I see fiction, Open up some more fields we got that aren't doing nothing, and make them start producing oil. It would drive the price back down for one, and for two, we could export and make money, and thus pay off all our bills. Simple. I would also make it a lot harder to import a few things, to where we were forced. Well, not forced, but we'd have to become more self-reliant. Made in America would once again stand for quality, not cheap stuff that breaks. I would give companies incentives to stay in this country. And to the big companies that would outsource to different countries, I would tax them extra hard by say, double what they make. If they make say $10 billion a year, and they've outsourced a lot of their stuff to overseas countries, well then they gotta pay taxes on $20 billion. Plus pay double taxes for the land, the school. So, there would be penalties for outsourcing them, because by outsourcing, you're taking jobs away from Americans who need jobs. I would stop sending so much foreign aid to overseas countries, and I would focus on making sure every man, woman, and child in this country had enough to eat at least one meal a day. That's what we need to do. We need to come together as a whole. All of us Americans need to come together as a whole, kick the current people in government out. Kick them all out. Put fresh, new people in there so that they can run the country the way that it was meant to run. The way our founding fathers meant it to run. I would also set up something so that they would make sure that the news, so that the press would be accountable to the people, so that they could be like they were originally intended and be like the fourth branch of government that watches over everybody else, the unofficial watchdogs of our country. See, that's what the press is supposed to be. However, the press nowadays has gotten to where, well, they just do whatever the government tells them to do. And that's not right. But it's getting late, and I'm getting a little tired. It's been a long day for me. It's only 11:20 here, p.m., but it's been a long day, so I'm getting a little tired. So I will sign off for now, and say God bless America, and God bless each and every one of you. If you don't believe in God, then whatever you believe in, may it bless and watch over you. If you believe in Allah, then may He bless and watch over you. And if you believe in Allah, I will say Assalamu alaikum. And to everyone else, to Italian Americans, and the French. No, to Italian Americans, ciao. To the French, adieu. To the Latin Americans, adios. Alright. I will say good night. And may this country, may we all come together for the sake of this country to make it great. Once again, to make it number one in all fields. Once again. Thank you and good night. And once again, my name is Bradley Allen Hingley, and I am running for President of the United States in the 2016 campaign from the presidential election. Thank you.